Hey everyone, it's Carol and thank you for stopping by. This is my weekly stitching update. Yes, weekly. I am filming this only 6 days after my last one and I'm super excited. I don't have any finishes, but that's okay. I have a bunch of stuff I worked on this week, so we're gonna jump right in. First up, I decided to pull out a project that has gotten, it's a new start for this year and has not gotten a lot of love, and that is Queen Street Alley from Kooler Designs. Here's where it was last time. A lot into this, but I'm really happy that given that my start was like maybe 250 stitches or thereabout, that I added another couple hundred, so this is solidly like 500-600 stitches and it's a good start. This sky is going to continue all the way to the top of the project. This is a roof line. Like I at least can, I don't want to say I can see a lot going on here. I really can't. From the perspective of the viewer, this is the it's the furthest away, it's the least interesting, but at the same time your eye is getting pulled towards it, but all the cool foreground stuff has to happen first. I just obviously haven't stitched it yet, so this is a little unexciting, but that's okay. I did this because I bought this pattern a year ago when I was in New Orleans with my sister. I didn't buy the pattern in New Orleans because they were out of stock, but I did see the finished model on the wall. It was beautiful. I think the actual this picture is, I think, actually from supposed to be Charleston, whatever, to a certain extent. I don't want to say a bunch of these, it was about the vibe. It very much had the vibe. So I'm just really excited to pick it back up. Do I know when this will come back out this year? Probably not at all, but I'm really looking forward to focusing more on this next year. The first of my focus pieces is Mirabilia Designs Winter Queen. Here's where I was last time. So I know that I said that I was in a beading mood, and I was. So this entire sleeve got done. The problem is I just did not spend very much time on this project this week. So for me calling it a focus piece, I feel a little bit like I'm lying to you. It's not true. This is a focus, and I did find I had misplaced my my card of Whisper, so I could finish a little bit down here. I found it, but then I just never pulled out the needle to work on it. So the only thing that this got done was, like I said, this beading up here. But honestly, I forgot how slow beading can go. So I guess it's a trade-off. I love how it looks, by the way. I wasn't sure when I realized how many of the beads were white. What's the difference between the white bead and the white floss against this white fabric and the white Whisper? There's a lot of white going on up here. And when the sleeve was only partial, I wasn't really feeling it. Okay, I mean, it looks nice, but I wish it was, I guess I was hoping for more contrast. And when I got done, I was like, oh, you know what? The white really plays nicely with the metallic bling, and because it has its own different shine, it doesn't read as metallic, but it does, it's bringing something else that I don't even know. I feel like I should be able to give you this is what it looks like on this sleeve. I really don't, but I like how it looks. And that, I think at the end of the day is, I mean, this is an absolutely ridiculous piece in all the best ways. I love all of the seasonal queens, but the copious amounts of satin and fur, and I mean, I don't even know what's going on. It's just, it's there because it's beautiful, and I think sometimes that's good enough. So I had also started, there's this beading that's associated with the throw, and it's gonna go all the way down, but I just did these top, because I'm still working in the hoop, and I don't want to switch this to working in hand yet. So I think I can do a little bit of the rest, no beading below here, but I should be able to do this sleeve and then finish up the stitching down in the bottom. I don't know if I'm going to continue the beading this week or if I'm going to switch back to the floss. I haven't really decided yet. I do have all the beads out, with the beading needle and the invisible thread that I use, so there's nothing really stopping me from being okay, I can just do a little more. So I'm leaving this one open to I'll just see how it works out. The big thing is I did notice this one, if I'm going to sit down, unlike some of my other projects where sitting down and doing 30 minutes is really doable from a mental place, I think at this one, I'm in this stage, if I'm going to do beading, I need to really commit to several hours, put on some dumb television show and just go to town beading. that's where when I sat down, and that's why I didn't get any further. I actually was having to, make dinner and all the, the household stuff. Like, what? I'm supposed to hang out with my kids? Yeah, I am. But I couldn't focus on this, which is why I just didn't get as much done. I have other projects that really are easier to just pick up and put down. But I think I have the time coming up where I can really, dedicate this to getting it done. And I don't know, it is interesting how projects have their own, pull at different places. Because this one in the past had been a project that I could just pick up, put in, 2-3 strands of, DMC and call it good. And now it's no, you really are, if you're going to work on me, you're going to work on me for real. I mean, it's a project. I don't know why it has this much opinion. It probably shouldn't, but it does. And you know what? I'm okay. I'll go along with it because it kind of matches. It matches the project. It's just honestly at this point an extension of myself. But I'm saying that I know my concentration really does want to just finish, and so I don't know. We'll see how it looks next time I'm sitting here. Hopefully it's a lot closer. But yeah, I do have to say beading is slow. But from just sitting here, it is really cool how nice the top of her looks. So I don't know why I tend to put. I don't know. I know why I tend to put off beading towards the end, and it's because of how I stitch in a hoop. But I love how pretty it is. So as part of my anti-planning, if you will, when I showed the pile of projects that I had pulled out and just parked, they're living right now in their project bags right next to where I cross stitch. And they were kind of more of the whatever moves you at a moment in time. And I did later set a restriction on myself, whatever moves me for that moment in time, but no more than a day. Because what I don't want to do is get distracted from the things I'm focusing on. But one that I was really excited to pull out is Ink Circles Tapestry. Here's where it was last time. I have now done a part of every motif that is on here. So I had started this, but this whole thing is complete. So now actually this wedge from this corner to the center to this, so an eighth of the project right there, and that eighth of the project is what gets duplicated all the way around, is fully complete. Now, obviously I've done a lot more of the rest of it. So this is actually, I think I calculated it out, it's about 37% complete. I was not as good this week about checking to see how far I was in projects compared to last week. Sorry, I'll try to remember next week. Got to work with what you got. But I picked this one up. It was a day I was tired. This is on a 30 count. It's 30 count. I used to have it on here and now I've misplaced it. I think it's light khaki, Weeks Dye Works. The nice part though, with it being a 30 count, it is, even when my eyes are tired, it is easier to work on than 32 count, let alone 36. And the colors are really simple. And I cleaned up the end table that's right next to my chair. So I found all the missing flosses for this. I don't know which video. Back in the spring? Yeah, I think sometime earlier this year, I said, yeah, I know I bought all the flosses needed for this project and I don't know where they all went. I found them. Then I misplaced them. And I found them again this week, and they actually went in the project bag, so I don't have to worry about losing them now, which that's a very good thing. But it's one of those, this doesn't have a ton of colors. It's fun. I have found that if it's this one I say, oh man, I want to focus on, I don't enjoy it as much. But if I tell myself, do a single motif, and that's what I did. I was just like, this one, and it's a kind of, this is on the big side, but it was already started. I'm like, just finish it. You'll get to put in the pretty pink floss that you really like about this pattern, and it'll be great. And that's all I did. And when I hit that point, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm done. And I love it. It was super fun, super easy, and I didn't feel like I was getting sucked into, oh, I should be able to finish this project sort of thing. In which this one is, because it's one of my older whips, it is easy to get that feeling, and I was trying to avoid it. That's really why I said, I'm just going to do a motif. It's fun, I'll enjoy the colors, and then put it away. So this one is not going to go back next to my chair. It's going to get shunted back to where all my projects live in storage, pull another one out, and let it kind of have its moment as just a palette cleanser. And I found that incredibly helpful this week, because it's not really planning. It's like an anti-plan. I I basically, this was actually when the day that I picked it up, it was like the third project the first one I picked up, looked at and said, no, not today. Second one was the same thing. And when I pulled this one out, it was the right answer. So, and I mean, again, probably because I already knew I was tired. Maybe the other ones I didn't want to do because they were on like 36 count. But this is like, I don't know, it was just because there was no expectations with it. So it allows me to stitch. The more I sit down and cross stitch, the more cross stitching I get done. In the sense that when I do it any little bit, it makes me want to do more. And then I start working my time so that I have more cross stitching time, which is why I've gotten so much done this week. But at the same time, if I get too stuck in plans, I kind of start to feel like a bit hang up, and that's where I think I get into the avoidant. Well, if I'm not going to hit my goal, then I'm not going to do any cross stitching, so on, so forth. And I really liked that. So again, this one's really cool. I don't know what I'm going to do with it next. I don't even know when I'll pull it out next, but I'm just happy that because I had started up in this corner and had come wandering down. And so for the longest time, all the stuff up here looked just very like leftover from the beginning, but not like connected to the project. Now I really feel like it's connected in a good way, so it's pretty. I guess that's what I have to say for that. I'm not always into seasonal stitching, but when I am, I really am. So another project I'd pulled out, mostly because the weather just really made me feel it, Teresa Witzler's Fall Carousel Horse. Here's where it was last time. My horse, it continues. So this neck and the mane here are filled in. All of the back stitching around these leaves got done. I don't know how much like you guys can tell the difference, but it's really, for me, I'm like, oh wow, doing as much of the back stitch as possible along the way is the only way to not lose your mind when doing Teresa Witzler. That's what I've decided now. I love all of the quarter stitches. I love the effect of the back stitch and how it ties everything together. But there's for such a small area, there's a lot going on here. I guess most of what I did on this was back stitch. I basically did the filling in what I could that would facilitate the back stitch that I wanted to work on. As you can see, basically right now I'm filling in towards the horse's ear is going to be like right here. The cheek is here, but I was like, I didn't want to just kind of come up and leave a giraffe neck. I wanted to fill the mane in. It was a lot of fun, but again, this one is one that actually I do in small doses, mostly because it just gets so intense. Like if I do only like an hour on it, hour and a half or whatever small amount, and I didn't sit and do this like all consecutively. It was like 2 sessions, so like 45 minutes or so in the course of a day. But like when I did that, I don't think I felt as bad about not getting like more done. I mean, again, these are intense projects. They're not big. I don't even want to call them complicated, because complicated makes it sound like they're too hard to take on. They're really not. Like the directions are pretty straightforward. At the end of the day, it's still cross stitches, quarter stitches, and back stitch. Like really, that is what all of this is. It's just that when you have a lot of quarter stitches, it's basically quadrupling your work is really what's going on. So that's why you just don't get as far. It's fine. This is a 32 count antique white linen. I'm using all of the called for flosses. The only thing I haven't done is I haven't pulled out the blending filament yet. I need to do the pull here, and there's actually some of the back stitching that, because it has blending filament in it, I haven't started. I probably should. I don't know why. I just feel intimidated about blending filament. I know I probably shouldn't, but I haven't used it before. So I basically keep finding excuses to not jump into doing it. That's all. Next, I'm gonna go into my travel stitching, and I find this one almost a little funny to say, only because when I see other floss tubers and they use the term travel stitching, it usually means like small portable projects, and I am doing Modern Folk Embroidery is the fruit of plenty. Here's how it was last time. So it's not complicated, at least I don't think so, but this is not what I call particularly portable at this point in its life. So when I carry it around, it's in a tote bag. This is on a 40 count white vertical even weave. I do not stitch on this in the car because, like, when I say travel, it's more that I just mean it's stitching that I'm doing when I'm away from home. But these times when I'm away from home, I'm actually sitting for a good like 45 minutes or an hour, basically waiting on my kids. And this is like, it's every week. So, like I said, I feel like calling this travel stitching feels like a lie because it's really like not. But I got some more done. Like, again, it's an hour, or, well, I think twice a week, and it's about an hour, but one of the places I don't end up getting a lot of stitching done. Anyway, this is now connected, and I am going to start filling in the house here in the center because this swirl is done. This is not in any way, shape, or form a focus piece. I'm just happy that, honestly, it gets any stitches at all. So when I, like, was looking at it and realized that just filling in these little fruits here, like how much it completed, I was like, oh, well, that was kind of exciting. This one I do know is at like 63% done. I think that sounds right. I did the math earlier this week and I'm like, and I saw it briefly, but I didn't double check to make sure that I got it absolutely correct. But yeah, I'm like really happy with how this has been going. I mean, it's, again, this one's, every stitch that I put in is great. It's DMC 3810 and 3808. I don't remember which one's lighter and which one's darker. And I have floating around here for another project, 3809, so it's really funny that I have like these, you'd think I would remember them. I don't. But I think it's beautiful. I love how it's coming out. And like I said, this is the perfect, so I wasn't planning on like having it in any sort of rotation, but it's just fits in my life right now in a way, so I guess we'll be seeing more of it. But yeah, it's coming along nicely. Again, going with a palette cleanser, and I was really kind of feeling like doing some full coverage stitching, but not getting like too sucked into it, and one that I haven't done in a while. This is Heaven Earth Designs Mini Interior of Tintern Abbey. Here's what it was last time. And here you go, still making very slow progress in page 2. I find this one funny that my sister and I started this at the same time, and hers has been done for months. Now, it's beautiful, I love it. And here I am, back up, page 2. It's okay, I got about 200 stitches done, so this square got completed, as did this one, and this had a lot that came down here, so it was a single day's worth of stitching. I was just kind of thought it was nice that I was able to sit down and do any of it. But really my goal, and this was my only goal, the only reason this one got done is it was already mostly done. This square right here did not have a lot filled in it. It had maybe 15 stitches. At least that's how I remember it. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to finish this one. That was it, and it just had enough different colors that pulled in a lot of different directions, so hence the stuff that all seemed to get filled in this way. But I really liked that it worked out that way because it was self-limiting. As soon as I finished the last color, the floss, or this length of thread that I used for that one, I mean, I did finish it off, but I was like, okay, no more. This one's going away for a little bit. And I think that was a really helpful like self-limiting thing for me. In the past, I've gotten stuck in the mindset that I should be doing like, if I do 100 stitches a day on this, or if I finish a block a day, then it'll actually get done in some sort of like time that's something. Just go with me on that. And yeah, that's true, but this is not a focus project for me. It's one that I enjoy. It's a pretty nice full coverage. Since it is the mini, it's like the edge of it's over here, so it's not huge, so it's a good doable size. I love the colors. This one's, I think, 90 colors. The only thing I don't like is that some of the symbols, with there being 90 colors, are still a little too close together, and I have to I actively have to check and make sure that I am not chasing the wrong symbol, particularly when they're very different colors. But that's a me thing. I don't know if it's, you know, bad graphing. I don't know. I just kind of roll with it. But yeah, it's, like I said, it was the self-limiting really made this one enjoyable. And it was funny because when I got to the end of that, and I was like, oh, I really want to keep going. But I can't, because that's not in line with what I'm trying to get done this year. This one, though, I think I am going to keep my chair because I did enjoy it. So maybe get another 100 stitches in next week. And I'm kind of thinking of it that way. I don't know. We'll see. But this is very much in the I stitch what I want when I want mentality that I'm finding very helpful right now. So yeah, I'm happy with it. This is 2/1 on an 18 count Aida. I just am using all of the called for DMC. Yeah, so it's enjoyable. I think for me the best part is the way that I have this gridded, because I'm literally just using thread, like sewing thread, that every time I get one done, I clip off the corners or the edges where it goes to the stuff that's already finished. So I do enjoy that. It's the little victories, right? Lastly, I'm gonna share my focus piece. That is Modern Folk Embroidery's No Time Like the Present. Here's where I was last time. This is the progress I've made. This is 6 days since I last sat in this chair and shared my projects. This time last week when I was telling you whether or not I could see myself getting this done, and I had this whole like, I have to knock this out, like really, I have only 2 weeks, there's no way I can do it. Hey guys, this is pretty much most of June. These are all right here at the edge already going down and creating the structure for July. Little bit right here, like it's really just a little bit here under the bottom of the clock face. This is the same thing. I need to bring it down. I got this much of June done so much faster than I thought I could, and I'm like, why did I question? Now, I question because I'm still really just barely past the halfway mark on this project. It is October 23rd, so that gives me 2 months and a week to get it done. But whereas last week I was convinced there was no way that I can make that happen, this week I'm like, oh, I can do this. I can, and I haven't even done like insane amount. This is not like, oh, I've done an hour a day, every day sort of thing. I really haven't. I have been doing this every day. It has gotten 30 minutes, but it's also gotten like my focus time of like sitting down and really like, okay, you need to get this amount of done to stay on pace. But it doesn't feel as rough as it did when I was doing that way back up here. I don't know what the difference is this time. I really don't. I wish I could tell you. As always, this is a 36 count creme brulee from R&R Productions. I'm doing this 1/2 with DMC 844 and 645. I don't know. I really thought that I was going to be sitting here this week and telling you that there was no way I could possibly finish this. I really thought that's what I was going to be telling you. And again, I am most of the way through June. There is, honestly, if I weren't sitting down and having to like share this with you, I'd actually be stitching and I'd probably already be done with this. But the documenting of the process is honestly, it is fun. So I don't mind that this is taking up some of my stitching time today, and that's okay. But I am just so happy. I guess happy. I'm relieved. I am relieved that I have not set a goal that I can't attain, and that I still have time to meet this goal, which that's important to me. So thanks for stopping by. I hope that you enjoyed getting to see what I'm working on. Again, I am really working on making an effort to make the filming more of a habit, get into the uploading as a habit. Those are two separate skills, because you can film a video and then have it sit on your camera for a while, which I do sometimes. I will hopefully be back at the end of the month with a update, and hopefully I get I don't know, I really enjoyed the pace that I did with my cross stitching this week. And in one of these just total asides, I had mentioned last week doing the digital detox. I'm still working on it, and I've now finished a book. It's for my book club. I finished it 2 weeks ahead of schedule. Like, this is amazing. I really am appreciating finding more time in my day. Like, we all only have 24 hours each day to work with. You have things that you absolutely have to do. You have to sleep. You have to eat. You know, all of those sort of things. But really taking advantage of my leisure time in a way that is meaningful to me, I feel like I want to say control, because I think control is a very harsh word and not necessarily a thing that I should be aiming for, but that I am treating all my time, like all of my time is valuable. Even if it's sometimes being spent in ways that I won't want to do. I mean, I don't enjoy sitting in the car for long stretches of time, but do I do it anyway? Yes, because there's something meaningful attached to it, whatever the reason is. But that if I'm treating all my time as valuable and not just something like 10 minutes, the scrolling on my phone or looking for more information about something I already have all the information I need. Like, it's realizing some of those more unhelpful tendencies in myself. And so like I said, I got so much done this week. I'm almost kind of in awe, like, why, if I do this all the time, like, how productive would I be? And then, okay, but productivity is also its own trap. So it's not necessarily about the productivity, it's about enjoying. And again, it's about the thoughtfulness, where I say, I value doing these things. I value the time I spend doing these things. But I'm also not putting it ahead of other stuff in my life that needs to be done. So, I don't know. Just as like a random aside, like, definitely make a point of, like, you don't have to structure every moment of your day, but you should definitely be approaching it with these are things that are valuable, whatever the things are. You know, treat your time as all of your time is valuable, and make sure that what you're doing is what you would choose, because you can't get that time back. None of us can. So, you know, choose wisely, do the things you love, hug the people you love, and enjoy. I will see you next time, which hopefully, like I said, should be next week. Take care. I'll see you then. Bye.